he composed this Anubhashya. He started composing it in the time of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And they went through some of it together. But when it was finally completed, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur had left the world already. And so Srila Saraswati Thakur, he was like a little heartbroken, you can say, because he had he had discussed this with Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and it was appreciated by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. But when it was finally finished and ready for publication, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was not there. So it was like a moment of happiness and also sadness. But one of these verses is very, very powerful. I just wanted to, which is what I'm thinking of. Where is it? Here we are. Se Prabhu Shakti Pai, Ebe Anubhashya Gai, Iha Te Amar Kichunai. Receiving power from him, my master, I now sing this Anubhashya, within which there is nothing of my own. Javat jivan rabe, tavat smari bobave, nitya kal se padachai. As long as I live, I will remember him within my heart. I eternally aspire for his feet. Receiving power from him, my master, I now sing this Anubhashya, within which there is nothing of my own. As long as I live, I will remember him within my heart. I eternally aspire for his feet. So this whole composition is very beautiful and many significant points in here. But this particular point is what I was thinking about this morning. This is the ideal life, of the faithful disciple, the surrendered soul. That we are just living on the grace of Guru Vaishnav, Guru Gauranga, living as an instrument, and to always live in the consciousness of pleasing them and serving them. This is the ideal life. As long as I live, I will remember him within my heart, and to live in that mood of separation. This is how we are trying to maintain our lives. Instruments to satisfy, to fulfill his will, his desire, wholly for his satisfaction, never for our own position or glorification. A life of love and separation. That is the highest, that is the most noble life. The separation, it is the highest attainment of the soul. So we have heard from our Param Gurudev. So that if we can, obviously, what is real viraha, what is real separation, we don't know. But if we can live with some feeling like that, some touch of that, to serve in separation with love or some kind of love in our heart, that is a noble life. That is a successful life. Our Gurudev came and he imparted something to us. He showed us the path of our eternal life, and he left some instructions. And now that he gave us that, he gave us what we needed, and then he left to attend to some other duties, to take care of some other people. And then we have to continue and remain strong in his memory, upholding what he taught us, upholding his ideal and his principles, his practices, continuing to serve his mission, his devotees, his deities, his teachings. And the more we can dive into that, dive deeper into that, the more we will also feel his connection within our life, because it is a living thing. Okay, I just wanted to that, and then we can continue with Sri Chaitanya-Charitamrta. Unless anyone wants to add anything. Dasa Vrindavanam Vande Krishna Dasa Prabhum Tata Chanavatar Chaitanya-lila Vistar Karino Dvo Nityananda Padabja Karunadena Bhushito Yaktachano Burachincho Vavande Vyasadupino Shri Guru Gaur Gandharva Govindascha Ganaisaha Jayanti Patakascha Sarvesham Gurunartina. Okay, so we are going through these first 14 verses, which, as I mentioned yesterday, Srila Sridhar Maharaj described as the steel frame of Chaitanya-charitamrita. And in the following chapters, Kaviraj Goswami will go through each of these verses more elaborately. So we finish the first 6 verses, and also in the very first verse, these 6 tattvas are mentioned. Yes, the first verse. Guru, the devotees of the Lord, the avatars of the Lord, the expansions of the Lord, the shaktis of the Lord, and the Lord Himself. 2, 3, 5, yes, 6. So these 6 tattvas, these 6 truths, 6 manifestations of the absolute truth, they are described in this, listed in this very first verse, and then in these following chapters, these 14 verses are describing these 6, and then also in the following chapters, then these are all elaborated upon further. So these first 6 verses we read yesterday, they're mainly describing the nature of Mahaprabhu. And now, these next few verses, they are describing the position of Nityananda Prabhu. And as we see here, these verses is how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 verses verses only dedicated to Nityananda Prabhu. And we see here, Nityananda Prabhu, he is not being described as we normally think of him. You know, if we think of Nityananda Prabhu, we think of a transcendentally mad avadut who's distributing mercy to everyone, anywhere, to the most fallen. But here, Kaviraj Goswami is not presenting Nityananda Prabhu like that. He is describing him in an ontological way as being Baladev, as being non-different from Baladev, as being Sankar Sham, as being the source of the Purush avatars who maintain the whole of material existence. So in like a you can say like a very majestic way, he's in full consciousness of his divinity. He's being described here. And Srila Gurudev, he explains the reason for this. And also when we look at Srila Sridhar Maharaj's Nityananda Dwadashakam, he has the same system. First he's describing Nityananda Prabhu in consideration of his ontological nature within the whole. And then he's going in later to describe him as we think of him, in the mood of Nityananda Prabhu. And Srila Gurudev explained, this is because it is easy to misunderstand Nityananda Prabhu. His behavior is very erratic, and he's doing all kinds of eccentric things, dressing in all kinds of ways, and swimming with crocodiles, jumping on the backs of crocodiles, and all kinds of eccentric things, rolling in the dust, and so it is easy to misunderstand him, and there were, of course, scholars who dismissed him. They did not recognize his divinity. So for that reason, this care has been given. Understand who is that Nityananda Prabhu. You cannot, maybe you don't have the ability to appreciate him in this form, but consider him in this other form. Then you can understand his high position. And then also we can mention, the first part of Chaitanya-charitamrita, it is a little heavy going sometimes, because it's like setting the Siddhantic foundation, and also showing the dignified position of these of Mahaprabhu and Mahaprabhu's associates. So it's a little, especially as I recall, there's these verses which are, there's a chapter, Nityananda Balaram, which is elaborating on these 5-6 verses. And it's a bit heavy going, because it's like, describing the nature of the whole creation and Nityananda's role in that. So it's a little heavy, but we have to understand it is like making the foundation, setting the platform, and showing the Siddhanta behind all of these beautiful pastimes. We're not just sahajas, like jumping and dancing and screaming and crying in the street. But there is some serious Siddhanta behind this. So it is showing the dignity of Mahaprabhu, his associates, and this whole Prema Dharma, this mission of the Prema Dharma. It is not just a whimsical, emotional thing for the sentimentalists who, like Srila Sridhar Maharaj, I think it was his father, as I recall. On his mother's side, there was some appreciation for Gauranga Mahaprabhu, but his father's side, they were heavily against. And their thought was like, oh, the people who follow Lord Chaitanya, they're the ones who can't do anything else. And they're rejected by society. They're like useless people. Like, they can't get a job, so they decided to. They were rejected from any respectable role within society. So then they've joined this Chaitanya cult. So this is like, counteracting that, showing the dignity. No doubt there are many persons like that, But if they are sincere, they will also get mercy. But the sahajas, we don't want to even think about them. Okay, so we can hear these verses. Sankarshana karana toyashai garbodashai cha payobdishai sheshascha yasyam shakala sanitya nandakya rama sharanam mamastu. May Sri Nityananda Ram be the object of my constant remembrance. Sankarshan, Sheshanag, and the Vishnus who lie on the Karana ocean, Garbha ocean, and the ocean of milk are his plenary portions and the portions of his plenary portion. So all these great personalities, Sankarsham, Ananta Shesh, the Purusha avatars, Vishnus, you're thinking they're so great and so worshipful. They are just his expansions and the expansions of his expansion. So how high is his position? Mayatite vyapi vaikunta loke Purnaishvarja Sri Chatravyuha Madhye Rupam Yasyodbhati Sankarshanakyam Tam Sri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye. I surrender unto the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, who is known as Sankarshan in the midst of the Chatravyuha, consisting of Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. He possesses full opulences and resides in Vaikuntha Lok, far beyond the material creation. Maya Bharta Janda Sangha Shayanga Shete Sakshat Karanam Bodhi Madhye Yasyai Kamsha Shri Pumam Adi Devas Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye. I offer my full obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, whose partial representation, called Karanodakashai Vishnu, lying on the Karana ocean, is the original Purusha, the master of the illusory energy, and the shelter of all the universes. Yasyam Shamsha Shilagarbo Dashai Yan Nabyabjam Loka Sangata Nalam Loka Shashtu Shutika Dhamadatus tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye. I offer my full obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, a partial part of whom is Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. From the navel of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu sprouts the lotus that is the birthplace of Brahma, the engineer of the universe. The stem of that lotus is the resting place of the multitude of planets. Yasyam sham sham sha Paratma Kilanam Pushta Vishnurbhati Dugdabdishai Koni Bharta Yatkala Sopyanantas Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, whose secondary part is the Vishnu lying in the ocean of milk. That Kirodakashayi Vishnu is the super soul of all living entities and the maintainer of all the universes. Shesha Nag is his further sub-part. So now Nityananda Prabhu, who is direct expansion of the Lord, and now we are coming to Advaita Acharya, who is described as an avatar of the Lord. So Amsha, Nityananda Prabhu's Amsha, direct expansion. Advaita Acharya, he is avatar. He is described as avatar. Mahavishnur Jagat Karta Mayaya Yashujatyada Tasyavatara Evayam Advaita Acharya Ishvara. Lord Advaita Acharya is the incarnation or avatar of Mahavishnu, whose main function is to create the cosmic world through the actions of Maya. And now another verse. Advaita Acharya. Advaitam Harinadvaitad Acharyam Bhakti Shamshanat Bhaktavataram Isham Tam Advaita Acharyam Ashraye. Because he is non-different from Hari, the Supreme Lord, he is called Advaita. And because Advaita means non-dual, one. So he is non-different from the Lord, he is an avatar of the Lord, so he is called Advaita. And because he propagates the cult of devotion, he is called Acharya. He is the Lord and the incarnation of the Lord's devotee. Bhakta avatar. So the Lord appearing in the form of a devotee. Therefore I take shelter of him. And now this verse we all know. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. I offer my obeisances unto the Supreme Lord, Krishna, who is non-different from his features, as a devotee, as a devotional incarnation, as a devotional manifestation, as a pure devotee, and as a devotional energy. So, unto Krishna, or Mahaprabhu, unto Bhakta Rupa, the Lord in the form of a devotee, that's Nityananda Prabhu, Swarupakam in the expansion of a devotee. Oh no, wait. Oh, I'm not sure. Tyagi Maharaj, I think he has a nice translation in that little kirtan guy, but this is a little confusing. But anyhow, we can leave it for now. But these 5 truths, 5 manifestations, the Lord himself in the form of a devotee, Mahaprabhu, the Lord's expansion in the form of a devotee, Nityananda Prabhu, the Lord's avatar in the form of a devotee, Advaita Acharya, then the Lord's Shakti, energy, Gadadhar, and the Lord's pure devotees, represented by Srivas Thakur. Yes. Okay. Then Jayatam Sudato Pangur Mamamandama Tergati Matsarvasva Parambojo Radhama Danamohano. This is a very hopeful verse. Glory to the all-merciful Radha and Madan Mohan. I am lame and ill-advised, yet they are my directors, and their lotus feet are everything to me. This verse is a very encouraging verse. I'm a cripple myself. I'm useless myself. But what is my qualification? That's my everything is Garanga Radha Govinda. I have some connection there. My ideal is connected to that high plane. So you're looking at me. I'm a bum on the street. You know, I've got nothing to my name. But I have some hope because I have some aspiration. Just to have that aspiration is a wealth. That is already having it to some extent. Just having that to the extent that you aspire for it, to that extent you have it. To that extent you are wealthy. Because it is a spiritual transaction. It is not dependent on anything objective within this objective plane. It is no material transaction. It is a fully spiritual transaction. So to the extent that we simply aspire for it, desire it, to that extent we already have it. We're already gaining. That is your Krishna consciousness. As much as one aspires for Krishna consciousness is an aspiration. We were discussing that yesterday. Actually, whenever we think we have it, that's when we lose it. That's when we don't have it. So as much as we feel we are in need of that, we are lacking that even. We are aspiring for that. We're hungry for that. Krishna consciousness is a hunger. It is actually a hunger. Tacha lolyam apimulyam ekalam. That is Krishna consciousness. It is the desire for Krishna consciousness, the hunger, the hankering. So you look at me, I've got nothing. But I have some aspiration for that highest thing. So then I'm not so bad. I have something substantial because I aspire for that. And as Param Guru Maharaj says, we must judge a person by their ideal. If the ideal is great, the man is great, the person is great. So we are in a very low position, we have nothing, but somehow this ideal has been extended to us. Or as Param Guru Maharaj says in one place, some injection of prospect. I think of initiation in that way sometimes. It's some injection of prospect that the saints, they are wandering in this world, trying to help the souls who don't even realize that they need to be helped, and they're giving some injection of prospect. Like what is your real prospect, your real identity, your real necessity? They're giving us some consciousness about that, in small doses, according to our capacity to receive. So judge a man by their ideal. Somehow, wandering in this plane, we have come in connection, received connection with such a high ideal. That is the only thing of value in our lives. Glory to the all-merciful Radha and Madan Mohan. I am lame and ill-advised, yet they are my directors, and their lotus feet are everything to me. Divyad Rindaranya Kalpa Jumada Shimaratna Gada Simhasanasto Shri Gandharva Shula Govinda Devo Prishtalabi Sevyamanu Shmarami. In a temple of jewels in Vrindavan, underneath a desire tree, Shri Radha Govinda, served by their most confidential associates, sit upon an effulgent throne. I offer my humble obeisances unto them. Shriman Rasara Sarambi Vamshiva Tata Tashtita Karshan Venu Swaner Gopir Gopinata Shriestuna. Sri Srila Gopinath, who originated the transcendental mellow of the rasa dance. Jai Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Sri Srila Gopinath, who originated the transcendental mellow of the rasa dance, stands on the shore in Vamshivat and attracts the attention of the cowherd damsels with the sound of his celebrated flute. May they all confer upon us their benediction. So these three deities, they are sometimes described as the deities of Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojam. So Madan Mohan, Sanatana Goswami's deity, and he is the Acharya of Sambandha Gyan, and his deity is known as the deity of Sambandha Gyan. And Param Guru Maharaj, he gave an explanation about this. Why is Madan Mohan known as the deity of Sambandha Gyan, first deity? Because lust, Kam, is the most powerful force within this world. It is the most overpowering force. That philosopher, what is his name? I never learned how to pronounce his name. Nietzsche. How do you pronounce? Nietzsche. He made some comments about that, but I can't remember. Or maybe it was Freud I'm thinking of. Maybe. I can't remember. But anyway, we don't need to present evidence. It's one of those self-evident truths. Kam is so overpowering. It is like the fundamental force of this material world. Srila Sridhar Maharaj describes it as a powerful universal wave that we have to try our best to remain aloof from. So here, Madan, who is Madan Mohan? Madan, named for Cupid, the god of lust, Kam, desire, Kamadev. Madan is Kamadev. Mohan, the bewilderer. So Krishna, his attraction is so powerful that he can bewilder even Kamadev, even Cupid. So, who can break our attraction to Kam, to lust? Only Krishna, because he is more powerful than Kamadev. He can break that force of attraction because his attraction is greater, his attraction is more powerful. So therefore he is known as Madan Mohan. So who can save us from being bewildered by the influence of Kam, lust? Only Krishna, because his attraction is more powerful, more bewildering. So our first connection is with that deity. He can bring us out of that mundane flow, connect us with that divine flow. Srila Gurudev, he gave that talk, which Sripad Chaitanya included it in Revealed Truth, where he was speaking one day about the waves of Kam and Prem. These are the two flows in this world. The out-carrying current of Kam, material lust, and the in-carrying current of Prema, the desire to gratify one's own senses and the desire to gratify the Lord's senses. So here, Madan Mohan Diti. And then next, Shishi Radha Govinda Abhideya, and that name, of course, Srila Sridhar Maharaj chose for our deities in Navadvip. And actually in our here it's rendered Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo, but in our in our mat version, it's Sri Gandharva. I don't know who changed it, maybe Srila Sridhar Maharaj changed it. But we're chanting like that, Sri Gandharva, Srila Govinda Devo, Prashtalavi, Sevya Manush Marami. And here in this order, this particular form of the Lord with his intimate group, Srila Sridhar Maharaj said this is the highest, even though it is presented like in the middle as the middle conception. Then the Prayojan Tattva deity is described as Gopinath, in the midst of the Rasa-lila. These are very high topics. In the midst of the Rasa-lila, that is presented here as like in the highest position. And one could say, oh, this is exclusively connected with Madhura Das, so this is the highest conception being presented here. But Srila Sridhar Maharaj said, actually, we're not qualified to say, but Srila Sridhar Maharaj, his comment was, that is a general thing. Because so many gopis are there. But here what is being described of Shri Radha Govinda is Prashtalabi. That means like they're the most dear, the most beloved, the most intimate companions. So this small intimate group, Shri Radha Govinda, and they're this exclusive group. Srila Sridhar Maharaj said that is a higher conception.
That's why during the Vandana we recite the mantra of the Adi-lila.
Yeah, in that order, yes. Because they're representing Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojan. Yes. Exactly. And no doubt more can be said. It's a very deep topic, but that's everything that I've heard. And I'm just repeating what I've heard from our gurus, and it's all. Okay, well, I'll just 2 more verses to conclude this part. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Dvaita Chandra, Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Glory to Sri Chaitanya, Nityananda, glory to Advaita Chandra, and glory to all the devotees of Sri Gaur. 18 Thakur Godiyake Kuriyachen Atmasat, 18 Charan Vandau, 18 Mohanat. These 3 deities of Vrindavan, Madan Mohan, Govinda, and Gopinath, have absorbed the heart and soul of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. I worship their lotus feet, for they are the lords of my heart. All right, I think we'll stop there for today.
So, Radha Madan Mohan, Sanatana Goswami,
yes.
Govinda Suyadu Goswami, and
yes.
Gopinath?
Raghunath Das Goswami. Yes. Yes. And
never heard that explanation of the
Madan Mohan.
No, that the explanation on why Govinda is about the difference between
is a higher conception.
Yeah,
okay.
Higher conception because of Govinda decision.
Because Govinda what?
Like Guru Maharaj's statement that was like that the highest is on the anyway.
The central, that is another comment he made. This we heard from Srila Bhakti Sri Goswami Maharaj. Many times he commented on this, that another comment he made in this regard is that the highest conception is always in the middle. Right? Brahma, Paramatma, Bhagavan. The biggest conception, smallest conception, and then the golden mean, the middle conception. That was his other wonderful comment. The highest is always in the middle, not at the top.
To attain the highest, you have to go through a process, don't you?
Absolutely.
So that's the middle. Right?
Yes, and another thing is the middle ultimately is the result, right?
The practice.
Yes. Abhideya ultimately will culminate with the prayojan. They're doing all the same things, you know.
But without the practice, there is no prayojan.
No, but we're saying that ultimately the practice will merge into the prayojan, because in that world it's not like they're doing some secret things. They're cleaning dishes, they're cooking, they're gardening, they're making garlands, right? Mahaprabhu is going to Mangal Arti every day in Puri, you know. It's like you're doing all the same things, but that inner consciousness is totally transformed.
Yeah, purified.
Yes.
And that ideal could be also applied, for example, that's why Rupa Goswami is also in the center, because we are following all these teachings under him. He's not like on the Prajayan Tattva, he's on the practice, like on the Abhideya. That's why he also has, like, that's why we're not like worshipping Raghunatha Goswami as like our
the head of our sampradaya.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't feel qualified to comment on that, because Raghunath Das Goswami, sometimes we are described as the followers of Rupa and Raghunath.
Yeah.
They are interconnected. Because actually Raghunath, Srila Sridhar points out, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, he has shown what Rupa Goswami has given. Raghunath Das Goswami has like elaborated on that, gone deeper with that, has highlighted more what is the end of that. And so, prayojan. And so, like you see, for example, in Srila Sridhar Maharaj's Mat Shloka, Nityam Rupa Nuga Guru Garanga Radhaji Tasha. He refers to us as aspiring to serve Rupa Goswami. But in Srila Gurudev's, he wrote an expanded Bengali translation of that verse. And in his rendering, he wrote the followers of Rupa and Raghunath. And we hear that expression, I think also in the writings of Srila Saraswati Thakur.
In every last verse of Charitamrita, right?
Right. Exactly. Shri Rupa Raghunath, Pade Jar Ash, aspiring for the feet of Rupa and Raghunath, yes. So, there's a point where you can't really break it down anymore, there's a limit. Yeah. But some...
It's not either black or white.
Yeah. These are very fine and high topics.
Sanatana Goswami and Jiva Goswami, they were the ones who described the Sambandha and the understanding, like the understanding of the disciple of this place.
Srila Sanatana Goswami, he's known as the Sambandha Gyanacharya. Yes. And Jiva Goswami, he was their nephew. He was the nephew of Rupa and Sanatan. So they are like the senior position, you can say. Jiva Goswami, he's like the next generation down, and he served them, and he did so much to establish all of their conceptions, actually. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur described him as the greatest philosopher ever known to mankind. Like, not even within the sphere of the Vedic, but just like comparison, all time, all space, the greatest philosopher ever known. He wrote 400,000 verses. 400,000 verses. Like Srimad Bhagavatam, 18,000, right? 18,000 verses. He wrote 400,000 verses.
Backing up, right?
Yes.
the scriptures that they wrote.
Yes, what he very much like took evidence from the scriptures to like back up their. Srila Sridhar Maharaji commented that like Rupa and Sanatana, they didn't give so much scriptural evidence. I mean, maybe they did, but compared to Jiva Goswami, it doesn't. He gave so much more to, as you said, back up what they said, what they presented. So extreme, and he wrote these sandarbhas, these 6 treatises, and I think in there everything's covered pretty much. There's the Bhakti Sandarbha, and I can't remember all the names. He's like in the position of their servant and a protector, a guard, and I think establishing every aspect of the Siddhanta. That is what I have understood. He's like their guard and protector and lawyer, you could say, like a devotional lawyer, spiritual lawyer, giving citations and protecting and ready to fight. That. Does that satisfy you, Prabhu? Is that good? Okay. Well, we stop there. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha Jadavaya Madhavaya Nishavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Hari Gopinath Madana Mohan Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Hada Shiva Sari Gaur Bhakta Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Jai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Yahweh Vignana Shabishta Puran Gosai Charmurita Das. Just continue, no problem. Jahawite, no. Jahawite Vignana Shabishta Puran. Najera Charana Sebi Bhakta Sanebas. Janame more Adi-lila Chai Gosai Jabe Braje Kolobas Shri Radha Krishna Nitya-lila Kodila Prakash Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Kodiyar Hari Naam Sankirtan Kohe Narottama Das Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Jai. 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 Hari Bol.